The gaming community just got hit with some massive Half-Life 3 rumors, and honestly, this might be the most credible evidence we've seen in years. I'm talking datamines, insider reports, voice actor hints, and some pretty interesting timing from Valve. Let's break down everything that's happening because this could actually be real. So, here's the situation. For those who don't know the history, Half-Life 3 has basically become the biggest meme in gaming. Valve went completely radio silent after Half-Life 2 Episode 2 back in 2007, and fans have been waiting almost 2 decades for any kind of continuation. We got Half-Life Alyx in 2020, which was incredible and showed Valve still cares about the franchise, but that was a VR prequel. People want the real Half-Life 3. They want to know what happened after that cliffhanger ending with Gordon Freeman and Alyx. Now, here's where things get interesting. Dataminers have been digging through Dota 2 and Counter-Strike 2 files, and they found references to something called HLX. This isn't just random code either. Multiple independent data miners across different communities confirmed finding these files, and they're all pointing to the same thing. HLX appears to be an internal project name, and based on the file structure, engine references, and asset organization, it's built on Source 2, Valve's latest game engine. According to the dataminers, HLX shares a lot of technical DNA with Half-Life Alyx. Same engine architecture, similar asset naming conventions, comparable file hierarchies. But there are key differences that stand out. The scope looks significantly bigger. We're talking about files that suggest traditional gameplay mechanics rather than VR-exclusive systems. That's huge, because it means this could be the mainline Half-Life game everyone's been asking for. Not another side story or prequel, but the actual sequel. The datamine also revealed references to weapons, enemy types, and level structures that don't match anything in Half-Life Alyx. Some of these assets have names that suggest classic Half-Life weapons making a return, possibly with Source 2 upgrades. There's also code that points to vehicle sections, which were a massive part of Half-Life 2, but absent from Alyx due to VR limitations. Tyler McVicker, who runs Valve News Network and has a pretty solid track record with Valve leaks over the years, came forward with some bold claims. He says HLX is real, and according to his sources inside Valve, the game is playable from start to finish. Not just a tech demo, not a vertical slice that companies show at E3, a complete game that's currently in what's called friends and family testing at Valve. For context, friends and family testing is typically one of the final stages before a game goes into broader beta testing or launches. It means the core experience is done and they're gathering feedback from trusted people to polish the rough edges. If McVicker's sources are accurate, we're not talking about a game that's 5 years away. We're talking about something that could release within the next year. Another credible insider, Gabe Follower, backed this up independently. He's been right about Valve projects before, including specific details about Counter-Strike 2 mechanics months before the official announcement. When two separate sources with proven track records say the same thing without coordinating, that's when you start paying serious attention. These aren't random Reddit users making stuff up for attention. These are people who've built reputations on accurate information. There's also this hidden Steam game listing that popped up recently in the database. It's not publicly visible to regular users, but data miners found references to it in Steam's backend infrastructure. The listing has no name, no images, no store page, nothing public-facing whatsoever. But the app ID and the way it's structured matches exactly how Valve has handled unannounced games in the past. They did the same thing with Half-Life Alyx before the reveal, keeping it completely hidden until they were ready to announce. What makes this listing suspicious is the timing. It appeared right around when these HLX datamines started circulating. Coincidence? Maybe. But Valve doesn't usually create Steam app IDs for projects that are just experimental or might get canceled. They create them when something is far enough along to need proper infrastructure. Let's talk about the Source 2 engine for a second, because this is important context. Valve spent years upgrading this thing that used it for Half-Life Alyx, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike 2. All that work, all those improvements, all that investment in new technology doesn't make sense unless they're planning something big to showcase it. A new Half-Life game would be the perfect flagship title for everything Source 2 can do. Better physics simulation, better graphics rendering, better lighting systems, better everything compared to the original Source engine. Think about it from a business perspective. Valve poured resources into developing Source 2. They need games that justify that investment and show developers why they should license the engine. Half-Life 3 would be that showcase. Here's something that caught my attention and a lot of other people's too. Mike McVicker, the voice actor for G-Man, posted something cryptic on social media recently. He didn't say Half-Life 3 directly because that would violate his NDA, but he hinted at surprises coming from Valve and thanked fans for their patience. Voice actors usually can't talk about unannounced projects because of non-disclosure agreements, so when they start teasing things publicly, it's worth noting. They're either trolling, which seems unlikely given the professional risk, or they know something is coming and they're building hype within their legal boundaries. Some people are speculating that HLX could be a launch title for Valve's rumored new hardware. There's been persistent talk about a Steam Machine comeback or maybe a more powerful Steam Deck variant. If Valve wants to sell new hardware in a competitive market, they need a killer app that makes people want to buy it. What better way to move units than bundling it with Half-Life 3 or making it a timed exclusive? That's exactly what they did with Half-Life 2 and Steam back in 2004. They used their biggest game to drive adoption of their platform. Now, the timing here is interesting and worth analyzing. November 16th was Half-Life 2's 20th anniversary. A lot of people in the community thought Valve might announce something during that window. They didn't. November 19th passed, still nothing official. But here's the thing about Valve. They don't do anniversary announcements or follow traditional marketing calendars. They announce games when they're ready to announce them, not because of arbitrary dates or fan expectations. They've proven that time and time again. December is coming up fast, and the Game Awards is the biggest stage in gaming. Jeff Keighley has a close personal and professional relationship with Valve leadership. They've used their shows for major announcements before. If Valve wants maximum impact for a Half-Life 3 reveal, the Game Awards would be the perfect place to do it. Millions of concurrent viewers, huge media coverage, instant social media explosion. It's perfect for a holiday or early 2026 release window. But let's pump the brakes for a second and be realistic. We've been down this road before. Half-Life 3 rumors pop up every single year, and they usually amount to nothing. Valve is notoriously secretive about their projects, and they take their time developing games. They've canceled major projects before. They've let games sit in development hell for years before quietly shelving them. Just because something exists internally at Valve doesn't guarantee it's coming out. However, this time genuinely feels different from previous rumor cycles. We've got multiple independent sources saying the same things. We've got concrete datamine evidence from multiple games. We've got voice actor teases that line up with the timeline. We've got the Source 2 engine fully matured and ready. All these pieces together paint a picture that's really hard to ignore or dismiss as wishful thinking. Think about Valve's historical pattern with announcements. They don't announce games early anymore, like they did in the 2000s. They wait until something is nearly finished, then they reveal it relatively close to release. Half-Life Alyx was announced in November 2019 and released March 2020. That's only 4 months between announcement and launch. If HLX is really in friends and family testing right now, that suggests it's in the final stages of development. Polish, bug fixing, balance adjustments, performance optimization, not years away from completion. The community response to these rumors has been absolutely massive. Everyone's talking about it across Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, gaming forums. The hopium is real, and people are genuinely excited, but there's also a healthy amount of skepticism mixed in. And honestly, that's the right attitude. We should be excited, but cautious. Valve has earned our skepticism over the years with their silence and canceled projects. Here's what we know for absolute certain. Half-Life changed gaming twice. The original game revolutionized storytelling in first-person shooters. Half-Life 2 pushed physics simulation and environmental interaction to levels nobody had seen before. If Valve is making Half-Life 3, they're not gonna phone it in or release something mediocre. They're gonna try to revolutionize something again, whether that's AI, physics, storytelling, or something we haven't even thought of. That ambition takes time, and maybe, just maybe, that time is almost up. So, what do you think? Is this finally happening after almost 20 years? Are we actually getting Half-Life 3, or is this just another round of rumors that leads to nowhere and breaks our hearts again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to stay updated on all the latest gaming news, leaks, and rumors as they break, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you posted if anything new develops on this story.